Bert took pictures all the time.
Oh, yeah, I think.
This was his old camera. Can you imagine taking pictures with that? He was known pretty much all over the world for his lilies. He shipped lilies to Australia, and he shipped to South America, and he shipped to Japan, and lots to Siberia and Germany. Bert and Winnie married in 1934, and their first house was built on this exact spot.
Of course, I knew the Porters. I got to know, I went to school with their kids. Dr. Porter became a teacher, and he did teach school here at what became Honeywood School. So, you know, I guess in the 30s things were not real well, and he, to subsidize his income, he did start trying to sell plants.
Bert became an area salesman for Prairie Nurseries out of Estevan. When he would go to his neighbors and sell the plants, and they came, neighbors didn't have money to pay for them, so Bert planted them out in thinking that, oh, I'll sell them next year. So that's kind of the origins of Honeywood. Bert's big income during the 40s was raspberries and strawberries, and they were you-pick or plants. He developed 6 varieties of strawberries and 3 varieties of raspberries. Then he got interested in lilies, and he continued throughout the years developing, breeding lilies, and he eventually introduced 43 varieties. This lily is early bird, and it was one of the first 4 lilies that Bert Porter introduced in 1956 in his first official lily book. And this brilliant orange one is called Glistening Star, and it was the last lily that Bert and Alan actually introduced back in 1995. And you can see it from a distance because it is so brilliant orange. Throughout the years, even starting back in the 50s, he was a member of many horticultural societies. He received letters, and he wrote letters, and he shipped plants, and he shipped lilies all over the world. He was concerned about who was going to carry on with his nursery, and in 1978, Alan Daku, who has a bachelor's degree in horticulture, was looking for work. And so they got together, and Alan started working for Bert in 1978. They hybridized lilies. Bert continued with his interest in other fruits like plums. He introduced 4 varieties of plums. Apples, he loved apples, and that was his big love. Bert at the time, he was born in 1901, so he was still out here working actively all through the 80s. So he built this house all in portions. As a man of probably 72, 73, he built the big part of the house, him and his friends.
As Dr. Porter got older into the 90s, and he was not able to be out here anymore, Alan kind of took it over, and then, of course, as circumstances arose, he wasn't able to stay either.
Spring of 1999, Honeywood was sold to a local area farmer. It was discovered that he was planning to farm the land versus keeping it the way it was.
A few people got together, and 16 altogether, and purchased the place from a farmer, and managed to have it designated as municipal heritage property, and then about 7 years later, we were a provincial heritage site now. And then from then on, it's just been restoration and trying to make it a place for people who want to come and visit and show what really was here. So, listen here.
Oh, look at, yeah, hey.
You know, like I say, he's very modest, and he didn't tell anybody really what he was, and it wasn't broadcasted. I won certain awards until we really took it over. He had a lot of records here, a lot of files that he'd had and that were preserved, and they still are, where, you know, how he developed certain plants and all the procedures he went through. And so we have all that, and it's, you know, it's kind of adds to the history of the place.
We have a stand of Douglas fir trees. You don't find them very many places in the prairies. We have Siberian larch. We have 5 different varieties of choke cherries, different colors, yellow, red, orange, black. There's more to Honeywood than just lilies, and it's just the history and the heritage, and just walking around. It's a beautiful, quiet, serene place away from the hustle and bustle of the city. We're open 7 days a week, 9 till 5. You can come out, bring a picnic lunch, wander, take a map, wander around, and just decompress.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on maxTV Local On Demand, write us at max.local@sastel.com.